Welcome, everyone, to Who Fire 6.
Hello!
Hello!
Back by popular demand.
Not popular demand.
Because people love to bash me and my crew. So, I am here with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Greetings and salutations.
What's up, Ray?
I am anonymous.
Okay, so I'm just going to have to make a disclaimer because some people say I'm a bad host.
No!
So I'm going to make a disclaimer
Not
that the thoughts and opinions of Scott or Ray are not the thoughts and opinions of Matrix Lord 212. Okay? We are all on a show together. We were talking about what we have to say. It's like saying a reporter that's a Democrat interviewing a Republican. Just because they interview the Republican doesn't mean that they turn Republican or are Republican. You have to look at it as a news show where I'm the host and I'm having different guests. And of course, we're all members of the Real Whovians cast. So this is a quite different show format. In this format, we have a friendly debate amongst ourselves. Maybe members of our own show are battling each other in a friendly way about Doctor Who opinions. That was the original thought on creating this show. And then what happened it wound up turning into a show like battling, but a friendly manner, debate, but of people who attack us. So this is going to be an interesting show. And again, everybody is smart. Everybody, could tell from our podcast where I'm coming from, where you're coming from, Scott, where Ray's coming from. They don't need to be manipulated by losers, okay, out there with these podcasts of hate that spend 14 hours or 14 episodes or 15 episodes. There is a show, this crew show, that basically all they talk about is me. And they spend every single podcast promoting me. So thank you.
Thank them for it. I mean, come on, let's thank them for it.
Thank you. Thank you for promoting my channel because people went to see what you were talking about and realized you didn't know what you're talking about. You're all a bunch of liars. So
and those 26 viewers just what?
I just got tons of subscribers, so God bless you. So this is fantastic cross promotion, and I think I'm going to promote them as well. I have started promoting them on my Google Plus page, all their wonderful antics and theories. It's going to be a friendly cross promotion. Okay.
And we've got to. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They showed so much love with that last.
Again, for our regular, my subscribers and members who think that this is about Doctor Who, it is not. So do not watch this podcast if you think this is about Doctor Who. This is definitely not about Doctor Who. This is about people in the Whovian community that attack us, or everybody attacks each other or whatever. So please, there are different shows for this channel, just like HBO has Game of Thrones and Sesame Street. Yes, they do. So do we. Okay.
This is our series we know.
We have our shows that are rated G, rated PG, rated R, and then there's no holds barred hardcore. So this is not one of those shows that is probably up your alley. And, of course, it's on a different time slot, like a regular TV channel, so you don't have to watch it, okay? But if you do want to see what we're talking about, here you go. All right. So I made my apologies and everything. Okay. First of all, just want to bring up something. There was this character that used to be a member of our show way back in the day. I think he went by the name of Boy Post or something, whatever it was, right? He was in... long time ago, right? And again, there's been so many people on that have been members of the show. And if you're not a member and you're on the show, you're like, I'm not a member, but he never said that. So anyway, he was a member of the show. And you don't have to be in every podcast to be a member. People come back in after 5 months, 7 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. That's fine. But lo and behold, he became a member of our show. Of Real Whovians Cast, we talked about Doctor Who, whatever. Then, of course, different things change. People go to this show, people to that. Great. There was a point in time when everybody would do everybody's shows and everybody would be at peace. At some point in time, people made it into like a competition, which it really isn't, where a fun show like Doctor Who podcast became like factions and enemies, and people started stirring crap and attacking people, and
Shit disturbers and
people that came from my show splintered off, which is great. But it's one thing to splinter off and do your own thing. That's fantastic. But to attack where you came from is not a cool thing. So, of course, they feel in order to rise, they would knock me down where they came from here, which not cool. But anyway, let's just go on. So this character has been like a troll, big part of 2015, a thorn in my side here and there, creating fake pages of Facebook, fake accounts, bashing me over and over and over. And thinks it's fun, it's cool, it's allowed, and it's really not. Now, I don't go creating, fake pages on him. I don't go using his content. But he tends to love to take my videos, twist it up a little bit, and basically try to discredit me every which way. Think it's amusing to do so. I didn't think it's amusing to try to destroy someone's job or destroy someone's credibility or whatever. So he's doing that. So naturally, if you're going to do stuff to damage my reputation or whatever, I basically said, oh, that's where you work? Okay, anybody who thinks he's doing the wrong thing, call. There's his number. Which, you know what? That's your fault for saying where you work and everything else like that. There was a video where a YouTuber was getting harassment and bashed by somebody. The YouTuber found out where the person lived. He went to the guy's house. The guy shit a brick because he's like, oh, crap, right? Legal stuff and everything. The troll apologized, was begging, please don't take me to court, everything else, right? We're in the real world here, okay? You can't put stuff out there bashing and continually bashing without consequences, okay? If you're going to start attacking 4 of my members, 3 of my members, and you say you work in this place, I'm going to put the phone number out. There you go, like everybody. Think he's doing the wrong thing, call. I don't see anything wrong with that because you know what? You stepped over the line. The moment you step over the line, that's it.
And you were advertising yourself in the first place, stating that you're working at this one place.
Right.
So you're going to advertise that you work at this one place, and you're going to bash something.
Yeah. And again, mind you, I didn't call anybody. Yeah. I just left it up to the subscribers and viewers. If you don't like this troll attacking people, there you go. If anybody got attacked by this person, there you go. Okay? I don't like it where people think that they can make podcasts, like 14 podcasts, like The Crew, and thinking that because it wasn't taken down, that it's allowed legally to constantly. I mean, they have on the last show said someone talking tongues. They called them a freaking hillbilly. So obviously they're racist, making these racial comments about people. They make fun of people's weight, which is horrible.
Claim that somebody was pandering to the well, okay, I'm going to say it. Claim that somebody was sort of being not pandering, sort of two-faced when it came to cancer, but how he says, they're saying that cancer is wrong, but yet turn around and wish cancer upon that person, but because somebody was working for a cancer society, that's perfectly okay.
Well, here's the thing I want to explain to the viewer. There was this chat for a long time where these members, like every day, bashed the shit out of people and said worse things about dying of cancer, all this stuff. It's on there. It's on a record somewhere where it's posted. All the horrible things they said to these people and different members of the community. Like it's a damn joke. You don't want to find out about it. I'll find out who was the head of that chat. There's printed documents everywhere. They have ripped people to shreds about their weight, their religion, their race, their sex, their sexual preference. They have said, Dewey has said the worst about people. Okay? Dewey. Okay? And especially Sally too, and the crew leader there, and They basically constantly had hate every day. So for them to come and say that I wish like cancer on people or something is absolutely a joke and absurd. Okay? The whole context of that Who fire was that group was constantly harassing everyone so much that one of my guests on the show got fed up with the actions of them because they said like a million horrible things about people. And he said that it was from him personally, the message, and that he should whatever of that. Now, I don't condone that. I didn't. In fact, I'm watching it before. I was just went around into a different article. I wasn't even paying attention at the time. Of course, I don't condone anybody dying of cancer. Of course, I don't condone this. Okay? And so, like, right away, if you're watching a news program and they're doing, like, a debate, like Fox is doing a debate on Trump. Now, Fox, I guess, is for Republicans, but they don't want him as a Republican, so they went against him, right? That doesn't mean that that Fox supports Trump or whatever. This is a show, like a TV show. Like,
they're just reporting what they've got. Like
a news show. And the host's opinion is completely different than the guests, okay? People are free in this context, in this type of format, to say what they wish. Do I agree with it? No. But I'm not going to embarrass anybody on this show that's a guest on my show. I may say something off air. I may not make a big deal out of it because I'm not going to isolate anybody. But when I had a problem with people that were members of the Crew show, they had said horrible things in a show that is ours, that is a family show. And I said it wasn't appropriate. You're going to get edited out, and you did. There was one show, their last show, that I didn't edit out because I wanted people to see what a bunch of scumbags they were. I wanted them to see what a bunch of scumbags they were in a show talking about Doctor Who being vulgar. So it's forever there. Okay?
And I believe, wasn't that the one which they...
I think it was 674.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it was that one or the one after. Didn't the head of the Crew do some accusation of another character?
Yes. The head of the... Okay. It's one thing if I don't get along with, let's say, the head of the Whovians or something, right? Or it doesn't matter. People could not get along, okay? I don't go attacking people, okay? Now, if one of our members, doesn't like that people as well, but just, and you could see on that podcast, I was totally surprised by that comment, right? He went after the person's dad about a suicide thing, right? And I was in shock because I was like, what the hell, right? But why does everybody come to me like I did it? In fact, I think he was even forgiven by the head of that show for saying that, because I know he apologized trying to go on to the Whovians because he wasn't on the real Whovians. So he wanted to go on there, so he was just doing a little licking, whatever, to just get on there, which everybody sees through the bullcrap, by the way, But he's the one that made the comment. So why are you going against me, okay? Again, and I said some stuff about that, which I thought it was a certain way or whatever, but I didn't go on to bed. I never made the statement. Nobody made a big deal about that statement, okay? So his thing with the leader of that group, he wants to apologize, okay, that's fine. He wants to be put on the Whovians. That's their choice. It's their choice, okay? But don't dare tell me what I said on my show. And don't make it like people, look, you could try to outsmart the stupid people, but everybody else is going to see through your crap. And they're going to know, they're going to watch that show, and Matrix Lord never said that. Matrix Lord didn't even acknowledge that. Matrix Lord didn't, he went on to a different side with it because he looked down, he looked like whatever, like he didn't agree with that. But I'm not going to bash people, There was one time I did that. One time that I snapped is when they kept going too far, the Crew, on the show that was rated for family, and I started snapping at them on the air, which I really don't want to do that, okay? So whatever I say behind closed doors is not really anybody's business. If I say something to somebody about that's not cool what you said or whatever, again, I don't make it like, who the hell am I? Like, I that is something I'm very passionate about. It's about, looking for a cure to cancer. Okay? Don't try to twist words and make me out to be something I'm not. Okay? That person that said that statement was enraged about the person of all the horrible, nasty stuff that he said that made him so enraged to say that freaking crazy lie. Because people don't know what they say. They only see what the videos they put up or we put up. They don't go into that horrible chat where they were ripping apart, like making people depressed and ripping apart people's family members and their weight, their intelligence, and everything. They had ripped members of mine so bad that people just
were afraid to come on the show.
People change their identity because of those idiots, not because of anything we do, because they don't want anybody to harass them. Because that's what we did.
And we didn't force them to change.
They harassed the female members of my group.
And only maybe one or two are even willing to come on now. And
there's some members that I still talk to that just will never come on again. It's not because of them, but it's because of someone else that was a troll that was stalking all the women and saying all these things and using their pictures and everything. But this is the day and age that stuff happens, you know? And it's disgusting that they make podcasts on why this person has this identity and this identity. They have nothing else better to say. Okay?
And there was the Sally 2, which I find is interesting. I'm listening to this person, this Sally 2.
Right.
And it's like, aren't you being a bit contradictory? If you want to, why don't you come on the show as yourself, opposed to trying to come up with this fake identity?
The reason why Sally 2 can't come on the show as himself is because Sally 2 on the Who.
Sally 2 is himself, not herself.
Himself. Sally 2 cannot come on the show because he's a new member of the Whovians. Okay? And if you see what I put on Google Plus about basically that freaking post office, that person that was an old member, okay, what he said, if you see that, the Whovians told him, he was a member of the Whovians, take the video down, because if you don't take it down, you're associated with us. You're a part of our group. It's like we're attacking Matrix Lord. We don't want that. Okay? Lo and behold, I find out all of a sudden how funny it is that he's no longer part of the Whovians. Now, to me, I'm like, well, they probably kicked him out because I'm like, they told him, he said basically he's going to do what he wants. So they could basically kick him out. They don't have, you know what I'm saying? So now he's not part of that. He's not part of this. So that's my whole point, is that the Whovians don't want that nonsense. The Whovians don't want battles back and forth. They want peace. So when members of their stuff is attacking me, it's being a reflection on them, and it's giving them attention, and it's giving them negative attention. So that's why I said that Sally 2, all of a sudden you saw him clam up and not say anything, okay? And again, I'm not bashing Sally 2, and I'm going to tell you why, okay? For a long time when he was in my show, okay? Very respected member, did the news. I'm calling him Sally 2 because I'm not going to say his real name. And I always said he was getting too close, too much looking at the crew host like a mentor, like up his, whatever. You need to separate, have your own opinion, stop doing everything that he does. Eventually it's going to happen where he leaves you or it's split or something, okay? Lo and behold, I did hear about this fight that they had on the crew where Sally 2 just wanted to talk about Doctor Who, wanted to be with the Whovians, didn't want to talk about the Matrix Lord bashing. I heard that the crew host had gotten to a little hissy fit, got his panties in an uproar, got really upset. They started fighting really bad, and then they weren't really talking on good terms. You see Sally 2 on the Whovians, you didn't see the crew host. You didn't see Dewey either, okay? There's a reason. So who the hell wants to talk about hate every freaking day? It gets old. It gets old.
It gets tiresome.
It gets old. So again, I am happy that he has cut the cord with that mentor that's not really a mentor or role model. The only thing that I really felt was really horrible thing that he did, not Sally Chu, but the crew host, was that he started putting him on the spot, because they weren't really talking about that. They were talking about the Whovians, that he's on the Whovians, and that he doesn't want to anger the Whovians by bashing. So he was basically bringing a reference to that, by the way. So I just don't like it that he put him on the spot and attacked him on their own show together. And, of course, Sally didn't say anything, because at some point in time he's like, oh, probably the Whovians don't like that I'm in this show. They'll probably kick me out if I'm in that. I don't want to do that. And then he just disappeared. And, of course, the crew host kept going into Sally Chu, ripping him to shreds, basically disrespectful on the show, where he can't respond. Mm-hmm. You got to be a gutless, spineless piece of crap that you got to attack him because you know that he can't respond. That's kind of like wormish.
And number 16, listen very closely, folks, to how he refers to Sally Chu at the very end. And I believe it was Dewey. Dewey was also joining in with the.
Yeah, Dewey's a new sidekick to crew host.
Okay, it's pretty much the new app.
Because basically nobody gives him the time of day. I mean, Carter doesn't give him the time of day, or the Whovians, so he just needs to stir up some crap to get noticed. But if you want to know really a lot about
name calling, and
you can find out the former battles that he had with the Smith, where they said some horrible things to each other, and Dewey says a lot worse things that he's claiming about this cancer thing. Maybe that will be made available one day for people to see. But I'm just saying that this is getting them nowhere. I mean, yeah, they'll give them a little attention, but you know what? At some point in time, their ratings are going to drop, or their popularity is going to drop, because we have different shows on this channel. This is just one show that makes sporadically. I mean, I'll do Real Whovians, I'll do Everything Show, I'll do Topic Wonders. This is just one show. That's all they have. They don't have any, like, planogram of different shows. All they do is Matrix Lord bashing. So people are eventually tired of hearing that. Now, some stupid people will believe it and then go on a whole tirade about saying, to, like, some people with on that cruise show, why are you feeding them? You're going to make them popular? No. We're already popular. We're already popular.
Come on.
First of all, we're already popular. Second of all, nothing that you say is going to, like, really do an ounce of difference. And we're not the villain to be fed anyway. Okay? We're being bashed. So, I kind of don't like that comment from someone's father that's not really cool about it. I'm not going to bash the father. I'm just saying that I just don't agree with that comment, because I don't see myself as anybody that's deserving of being talked to in that manner, that I did anything horrible or anything wrong to anybody. I mean, he may be going from opinions of his son or different things, but when all is said and done, people left, which they could leave, but then they attacked. So that's the history. And, they could turn it and make it like I'm this person, but that's not the truth. And they even went after someone that they said I did, that, curly hair guy,
mm-hmm.
With his nice music and dream story thing. But they basically had members on there ripping him to shreds. So that goes to show who's using who there. I guess they used him for his popularity, and then they kicked him out or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much get him.
But then they tried to make it like
they've done that.
Did he say that against an autistic boy and all that stuff? I mean, the stuff that you have to see with some of the crap that's out there in the community.
Oh.
Like, it's disgusting. And you know what? They bashed that person worse. And I didn't even bash the person. Somebody tricked him into attacking me that time. So that's how that thing started, that war's ended. But it's just amazing why can't people just go and do their own stuff? Why does it always come back to, let's attack Matrix Lord? It's been quiet. He's been growing. Let's go after him.
Because basically it's like this. They don't have anything going on. And they see in their own minds, well, if we bash Matrix Lord, then people will come see our show. Because there's always people out there who love seeing bad things get bashed. So if we say that Matrix Lord is against cancer, if we say he's using cancer or using these other individuals to get him better success, we'll get views. Well, I've seen 10 views. I may have been the 11th or the 10th, I don't know. But number 16 here, they were up to 10 or 11 views.
Keep in mind that each are watching it themselves.
Yeah, they're each watching. That's the
And
only way.
4 or 5 views of theirs.
Yeah,
and they're liking their own video as well.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, you can't like your own video. But if you have another account, you can like your own video, which they have 6.
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing how they went on and just went off. And there were times when I literally had to take a break from watching number 16 of the cruise video.
Right.
And I'm just thankful that we had some backup on that video too.
Right.
And because if we didn't have that backup, and backup, I don't know if.
And here he is.
Very cool.
There's Daniel.
My ears must have been burning.
Daniel, welcome to Who Fire 6.
But maybe if we didn't have that backup to back up our other friend there, it probably wouldn't have gone over as well as we did.
Right. Now, Daniel, I saw you in the crew episode, and I got to say that I don't know where you're coming from when you say, I just told you before that I was going to do a Star Trek show with you. Of course, I work during the week, and I said to you, when I have time, yes, we'll do it. Meaning, I only have the weekend. I slept most of today because I put in so many hours during the week that I kind of slept today. I was tired. You could see I'm not really, not feeling that hot. So, and it is going to have a snowstorm thing tomorrow and everything. So it's like all this crappy weather. So I did tell you we are going to do it, and we do have on record a Trek cast that we've done together before that they said that there was never a cast. So here's the thing. Why do you allow people to manipulate you? To bash me, because I'm not going to have you on the show if you're going to be bashing me.
No, I wasn't. That wasn't the intention. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just.
It's a cool thing to be on the show, right?
Yeah. What?
It's a cool thing to be on a podcast, so that you just wanted to be on a podcast.
Yeah. I needed to get my mind off the pain, man. I'm so depressed.
Why?
Oh God.
What's the matter?
Can't stop thinking.
But my thing is this. We know each other for a long time, right? You can't let people manipulate you into hatred. You're bashing me.
No, it wasn't.
You're bashing me. You're like, yeah, he was mean. He said these things. I don't know why he says cancer. I never said any of that stuff.
Well, no, I just said, like, if that was the case.
You don't know, but here's the thing. If you don't know if there's the case, why are you commenting about it?
No, I'm just saying.
But how could you comment on something you don't know? If you're going by their word, right? And they say, well, based on what you said, if he said that, he's a son of a bitch, or he's this. You don't even know what the hell the thing was about, what they were talking about.
I know.
Have you ever seen me say anything? Have you ever seen me bashing people?
I don't say anything. I'm just saying if that was the case. If that was the case.
But again, you should. That's the whole thing. You don't go on a podcast and do stuff like that, because if you don't know the information yourself, how could you comment about it?
Well, he asked me a question. I didn't know what to answer.
And he just wants you on there because they have nobody else to bring on there. Okay? Either they bring you on there or they try to get Jacob on there or whatever. Right? Whoever they can, because they need members. They need people to bash me. Did they talk Star Trek about that? Not really. They put you in there just to bash on me. They mentioned one thing about Star Trek, and then boom, you're out. So they used you to try to piss me off, so I ban you from the show, and then you're never on, and then you could go back on their show and say, "Damn it, that Matrix Lord, you're right, guys. He's an asshole, and he won't talk about Star Trek because I ban you from the show because you're bashing me." You're basically bashing me with them. Why would I have you on my show if you're going to do that?
That wasn't the intention to bash. I just didn't know what to say. But I had to talk, you know,
Of
because
course you have to talk,
I'm
but
like a zombie, man.
I know you're not a zombie, dude, but if you don't know what they're talking about, say, dude, you know, I've never seen him say that. I don't know what you're talking about. Because he wasn't like that to me. You said something to the effect of, yeah, he was mean to me because he rubbed something in my face. When have I ever rubbed in? You said optimistic. You said the word optimistic. He making a big thing that Star Trek is optimistic. Okay? Optimistic, right? What a horrible thing Matrix Lord did. He made it that.
No.
That's what you said.
No, it just, I just like, you know, thinking, oh, you know, like he said it, like, you know, he first said it.
Question, what is the definition of optimistic?
Oh, everybody's happy and, you know,
Optimistic means hopeful and confident about the future, right?
Yeah.
So basically you're saying that damn Matrix Lord rubbing it in my face, that he's hopeful and confident about Star Trek's future. Well, of course I'm hopeful and confident about Star Trek's future. Because I'm a Trekkie. Why wouldn't I be hopeful and confident? But how is that a bad thing to be hopeful and confident about Star Trek's future, optimistic, if it's on TV? That means that I'm happy that we're going to have Star Trek on TV, that there's going to be seasons, not just one season. So how is that a horrible thing? I don't think you knew what the word optimistic meant. Because optimistic is not a bad thing. Optimistic is a great thing. And so you're wrong then, that I did something horrible and shoved it in your face.
No, I didn't say it was horrible. I'm just like, you know, he like, you know, he made a video a while back saying, you know, he saw that video that we did, and then he said something to the effect that, like, he said something like, oh, you know, it was like he was rubbing it in his face. He was like, oh, you know, oh, Daniel, you know, it's going to be off.
ID basically talked to you, crew host, talked to you, basically, before you went on the air, to pump you up full of hatred and build you up.
No.
You're saying that off air, he talked to you and said this.
I'm not being rude, Daniel. That's what it sounds like, mate.
They're saying, oh, he's pointing out things to make you have this in your head, that's what you're going to talk about.
Don't you agree, Scott?
Yes.
No, he you know, he said that, and then I was like, it didn't come into my head. I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Like,
so
what he said that way,
it
kind of sound like that.
Crew host said that to you, and then you said what he said about how shoving it in your face. That was his statement before you went on air.
I'm not being rude, Daniel. He's using you as a puppet. He's trying to control you.
Basically, this is what I'm talking about, the manipulation in this community. This guy thinks he's super intelligent, where he can outsmart you, and he did. Where he said to you off air that Matrix Lord shoved this in your face so much that when you went on air, you thought that that's your own words, and you said it. But it's not your own words. It was his words. So he kept repeating it to you verbatim over and over and over again until you get memorized and it's in your head. Those are your words, and you say exactly what he wants you to say. Because that's what he does. He knows how to define people, characterizations, you know, assimilate, and he basically knows how to manipulate people. Because he's so the one thing that I was very surprised that he's ever done was I never thought that he would put himself down and his own intelligence, that he says he's a great profiler and he can profile anybody, but that he wasn't smart enough and he got manipulated by me into believing me. That in other words, I'm smarter than him and he got fooled. I never thought he would go that low to bash himself to prove a point, making it like he's stupid and he got manipulated by me, like I'm a different person than he profiled. I never would have believed he would ever put himself down in any way, but he did, which is surprising to me. But we only got a minute and 30, and we're going to have to go into a Google Hangout. So I just want to say, Daniel, you said it yourself. He told you that statement before air, and then you basically said what he said. So he's manipulating you, dude. And he knows that you're going to get me pissed off where I don't want you on the show and do a trick. And so that way he can have you on the show because I won't have you on no more. Because I can't have anybody on here that's bashing me. That's very disrespectful. And I got to be able to trust you if you're going to come in here that you're not going to do that. So I respect you very much. I know you for a long time. So that's why it's a shocking thing to see a podcast where you're making comments about stuff you don't know nothing about me. And it's very hurtful and it's not cool. So we're going to continue this on.
I didn't mean it to be hurtful. But
it's not true, though.
We're going on
Everything
now.
you said is not true. So why even say it if it's not true?
Well,
why say it if it's not true? I know you want to be in a podcast because it's cool to be in a podcast. And you want to have stuff to say, but did you just bash the person so you could talk?
No.
So why even do that then?
Well, like I said,
go back and watch that show you did.
Yeah.
You better watch the time, Joe.
Who Fires 7 is coming up.
Continued.
Yeah.